I say me hot. Ignite, ignite, ignite. Oh, I have got this feeling, a very irie feeling. And when I get this feeling, optimism is in the air. Spread optimism everywhere. Nobody with the nurse, nobody with the dark optimism. Reach epidemic proportion. We don't need no nurse, we don't need no dark. Optimism and go cause a commotion. Celebrate the youth, teach the youth the truth. In your community, optimism for you and me, it will make you. It will make you. Optimism will make you. It will make you high. Everybody sing it. Choose optimism. All youths in the join in. Build your community. Ignite, ignite, ignite. Choose optimism. Ignite, 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 ignite. Right throughout the Caribbean, Optimist team is moving on. Every town, every community. Optimist for you and me. Nobody with the nurse, nobody with the dark optimism. Reach epidemic proportion. We don't need no nurse, we don't need no dark. Optimism and go cause a commotion. Celebrate the youth.
Good morning and welcome to our International Day of Happiness OptiForum. Music makes people happy. And we couldn't be happier that you are with us today. We have such a wonderful lineup for you of exciting music and happy talk. And we have a special guest with us today as well, who I'll introduce in a second. But we put forth a call for music videos from youth from the ages of 11 to 19. We got over 70 entries, so it's a very exciting process for us to listen to all those, and it's this wonderful talent out there. Many of them are in the room today, and we will be playing clips of as many as we can fit into the program. We've spliced some short clips from each, as many videos as we could together, and then in the second, and we will be interviewing our special guest during the first half of the program. In the second half of the program, we will announce the winners of the contest. So stick around for the end, especially if you're a contestant or if you've entered a video. And we have a very exciting day planned for you today. So I do want to tell you about our special guest before we get to the music. Emmy Award-winning actor Bill Myers is an accomplished actor, jazz musician, filmmaker, writer, educator, and speaker. As a biracial man who is both black and white, Bill leverages his background, talents, and voice through creativity, compassion, and connection as activism for social justice to focus on uniting the divide and compelling change. In a civic leadership capacity, he has served as president of the African American Jazz Caucus in New York City, member of the Indianapolis Cultural Development Committee, and served as president of the Indianapolis Downtown Optimist Club. In addition to his Emmy Award, Bill has received many awards and notable commissions for his work, including being commissioned by the Indianapolis Museum of Art to create an original work for Dr. Martin Luther King Day entitled The Music, Martin and Me. Bill Myers seeks to encourage, enlighten, and empower others through the power of entertainment to affect social justice. And we're so happy to have him here today. And to kick off the morning, we are going to play a clip of music.
There's a place where everybody's going to. It's the place, that's the place to be. It's the scene where everybody wants to be seen, heard. If you choose to go and make a statement, that's not hard to follow. So beware with a little bit of soul now, but some positive emotion, and you'll think you know for sure it's sold out. Gotta get it, oh yeah, yeah, it's sold out. Gotta be there, oh yeah, it's sold out. Gotta get it, everybody gotta get it, it's sold out. Gotta be there, everybody gotta be there, it's sold out. Woo! It's sold out. Oh yeah, it's sold out.
Around. Well, that's a powerful group of people that you've been with, Bill, and I welcome you to our program today. And let me start by asking you this question, because the theme today is happiness and music. And why don't you tell us how your first memories of music bringing you happiness?
Wow. Well, first of all, thank you for reaching out and allowing me to participate and share my thoughts with this audience today. Regarding music and happiness and when did that all begin? It probably began in the womb or something, if we were to be honest about it. But I am told that my birth year was 1966, and there was a very popular television series that came out the same year called Batman. And apparently when that theme would come on, I would just cut loose on the crib, sort of just bouncing. And so my nickname early on was actually Fat Man, because I happened to be a little bit of a chunker. I have a twin sister also, so she knew to stay on her corner of that, because once Batman came on, it was sort of a wrestling cage match at that point, because don't bother me. I've got a groove with Batman and Robin. So, but I must say that music was in my bones before I even knew it or had language or could recognize it, because it was just so much a part of my being. But Batman and Robin is the story of some identifiable out of controlness that happened as a result of music. So it is. So that would be what I'd say at the very beginning. So I am told. But I do know that as a child, I would always enjoy the television shows and the TV series of the time. We had a different format. It was a variety format. So Tony Orlando and Dawn, the Glenn Campbell Show, the Johnny Cash Show, Sonny and Cher, the Tonight Show. It didn't really matter. Wherever these programs were on, there was always a musical guest. And I just was so fascinated in watching all of these people perform. Again, I enjoyed music. And to that extent, I would say that was my relationship with music, is that I appreciated it and felt connected to it in that way. Unfortunately, nowadays, I would almost challenge anyone to find any TV show where you could see live musicians actually performing. And so I think that is something that we miss culturally. If we're not exposed to it, and to the performance of it. I'm not talking about music videos and all of those little mini movies and little stories that are being told, little movies, but actually seeing musicians break a sweat, actually seeing fine musicians exhibit their talent, not behind a curtain, but right in front of you. It's like being in the kitchen watching a master chef cook something that's really, really tasty. And I think that I would certainly hope that maybe our television programming at some point might turn around and we might have more exposure to it. Because it seems like, unless I'm mistaken, that all programs had like some connection to live music performance. And I don't think that that's by accident. I think it's because they knew something that we are here to celebrate today, which is music connects very powerfully with people. And I want to say something about our theme today, if you don't mind, Mark. I don't mean to just sort of run you over here, but
No, please do.
I think it's very important in this theme, and as we celebrate an International Day of Happiness. My goodness, what a thought! An International Day of Happiness that is connected to the idea of music today. And I applaud the optimists for being able to tap into music as a means, a very powerful means of happiness. But I think that and I've really wrestled with the theme a little bit, because I'm like, well, music, happiness, and I would say it's correct. Music and happiness are deeply connected. But let me explore the word happiness in this context. I believe that music is a very powerful means of communication that has this magical way of meeting us, the individual, where we are at any given moment in our lives. There is a song. There is, wrote a song about it. Want to hear it? Here it goes. And I think that that's the thing to know. So as we are experiencing joy, as we are experiencing loss, as we are experiencing disappointments, as we are experiencing our first love, as we are experiencing victory after winning the championship game, I think that that's what music does, is it meets us there. And because it meets us there, it is this companion. And because we can find out when we have a companion that no matter what we are going through as individuals, we are not alone. And so there is a music for every occasion. So to that, knowing that music helps touch our soul and lets us know that we're not alone is something that I would say. Now, in that context, music makes people happy because it lets people know they're not alone. And there's music for every emotion, every occasion. Well, what do you think about
true, Bill? That is so true. And I know you and I have spoken in the past. And one of the things that we agree on is that music is a universal language. And here we have the opportunity to connect with people in these times of isolation during the pandemic. And that was really why we went to the musical program this year, was because we couldn't go out in the community and do many of the things we've done on the International Day of Happiness in the past. So we decided, let's let the students bring the music to us. So with that, let's hear our first set of clips from our student musicians.
Meow, meow, the world's crazy. Meow, meow, are you lonely? Meow, meow, the home is cozy. Meow, meow, are you happy? In the midst of the darkness, in the shadows, feeling like hopeless and despair, reaching through the end, peeking through the sea. I believe in myself, and I owe it to you, teacher. Teach me the way. Let the rain fall, let it fall on me. Keep that groove like that. All the memories that we've had, all the memories that we made. Just wanna say. Sometimes you gotta keep your head up and look to the bright side. I don't have an illness that needs curing 'cause I'm chubby. I'm me.
Wow, isn't this incredible?
Don't worry. I'm not worried. I'm happy.
Wow.
Sorry, I missed my cue. I thought the other one was last, but isn't this fantastic? I want to say a couple of things. First of all, Amy, I'm going to ask you in a minute to put in the hashtag. You can view all 70 or so, 70 more videos on YouTube by searching the hashtag that Amy will put in the chat. Second, this program today is out on Facebook Live and YouTube. So you will be able to view this at any time after our conclusion today. And for you contestants in the room, your presence in these clips does not mean whether you have placed in the as a winner in the contest. So you may these clips were made without regard to the clips that were won. And at the end of the program, we will play the first, second, and third winners in their entirety when they are announced. So I'm so happy to have heard all this music today. Bill, I know it's inspiring to you as well as to me. And tell me about your first, I know you're a jazz musician to a great extent. And when was the first time you heard a jazz musician and how did that inspire you?
Well, I was, like I said, I would gravitate always searching out music to listen to it. And one of those sources was about every Saturday afternoon, they used to have these old movie musicals that would come on TV. And I just remember you really enjoying people like Fred Astaire and, the Gene Kellys and all the really wonderful movie musicals. But this one particular show, it was called The Five Pennies with Danny Kaye, and I really like Danny Kaye too. So, I was watching that, and at some point in the show, this older Black gentleman came out, and he was just talking, and I was thinking to myself, who in the world is that? He just caught my attention, just oddly. And then a few scenes later, he came out and he was playing the trumpet. And that mesmerized me because there was something that I recognized in how he spoke and how he played the trumpet, that I recognized that his playing was an extension of his actual voice. In other words, he was consistent. And I think that's one of the biggest challenges, in playing music, is the idea of finding your own voice. And again, I didn't understand all that till I was about 30, but this is what hit me like a ton of bricks at about age 6. And from that point on, I was like, I'm going to play the trumpet because, and the reason was this, I wanted to do that, and I want to do that for the rest of my life because I want to make other people feel the same thing that Louis Armstrong made me feel. And that was just joy. And so, I'm 6 years old, way too young to start playing the trumpet, but, I'm in the public school system and, I'm waiting until they let us get into the band. And I've been telling people for years now, I'm going to play the trumpet. I'm going to play the trumpet. Well, we took, there's one year when they give you like a recorder and that's like your intro to music. And like I said, I have a twin sister. And so we went through that year. And at the end of the year, they give you this music competency test. And my sister, by the way, I think is the most talented person I've ever met because she could play anything. I mean, get 5 minutes and she's just can do it. And so she got in with flying colors and they did not let me in. They did not let me in. And the reason was that I had no musical ability. That's what they said, which was a tremendous blow because I'm the only one who has been telling everybody every day and really meaning, boy, it's about this trumpet. I'm going to play the trumpet. And so for them to say no, quite frankly, was unacceptable. I was not going to accept it because they had to be wrong. They had to be wrong. So I just sort of, sobbed about it, kicked and screamed about it, had the parents go to school and meet with him because they knew of my obsession and my need to play this trumpet. And they stood their ground and said, no, we don't agree. I mean, your son has no musical ability. And they, again, just said, please, please. And so they finally offered something. They said, well, we're not going to let your son play a school instrument, but we will allow him to be in the band program if you provide him an instrument. Now, my father is a police officer and we have a family of 5. So he works for the city of Indianapolis and our family car is the police car. So the idea of us getting an instrument, a trumpet, I'm thinking there's a whole lot of things we need before we're going to get a trumpet, like a car, and so So anyway, I just knew that this was not going to happen at this point. And I was really, really bummed. And I remember sitting on the front porch, and one day my dad is at work, but he wheels by the house and he says, "Get in the car." And I said, "What?" He said, "Get in the car." So I get in the car, and he doesn't say anything to me, and I don't really know what's going on. I don't know if I'm in trouble or what. And we're just driving, and then he pulls up in front of a music store. Now I still don't understand, because this is just not something we can do. And I even knew that. I didn't need them to explain that. And we went into the music store, and I'm eye level with the showcase, and I'm looking at all these very shiny trumpets. And so the gentleman came over and said, "May I help you?" to my father. And he said, "No, you can't help me, but you can help my son." He said, "Billy, tell him what you want." And I was still baffled by this, but I pointed forward, and he said, the gentleman said, "I'll pack this up." And I'm still standing there, not really understanding that this is possible. And he set it on the counter, and I asked my dad for $380 or something, which was like $1 million then. I mean, it was quite a different time. But my dad looked down at me, and it was so powerful, because in just a glance, my father, who I always felt was indifferent somewhat about my desire to play the trumpet, that was the first time that I think he really conveyed the idea that he believed in me. He really did believe in me, and he was going to do whatever to make that happen. Whew. That moment truly changed my life. I'm 55 years old as of last week. Happy birthday, Bill. Thank you. But but more than that, when I think about music, I can attribute just about everything I have done in my entire life to music. I've been on television. I've been in the Broadway theater for years. I've taught theater. Music has taken me all around the world, playing with musicians, performing musicals and performing all kinds of things. Music has, I started in the pit orchestra at school playing for the musical. And one day I got the idea, I think I'd kind of like to get up there and be in that thing. The next year I was the lead in the musical. And then from there, I think I knocked out about 50 commercials in the next year. And so I was on this theater trajectory, but music was always the grounding force. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana, and you mentioned jazz. And Indianapolis, Indiana has a very, very significant jazz community. Historically, Wes Montgomery is from Indianapolis, Indiana. Freddie Hubbard, great jazz trumpeter from Indianapolis, Indiana. J.J. Johnson, great jazz trombonist, one of the greatest from Indianapolis, Indiana. Slide Hampton from Indianapolis, Indiana. So, the Hoagie Carmichaels from Bloomington, Indiana, Cole Porter, Indiana. I mean, so it's a very long line. And I've had the wonderful benefit of playing with many of these gentlemen, and that legacy, that community of folks that they played with, I also played with very early, and still to this day, I'm connected to them. So music has taken me through theater. It's taken me around the world. It's given me wonderful relationships. I've played many Optimist Club events over the years, over 25, 30 years, when my grandfather was a member in the early 70s. And that was an occasion for me to come in and play, or to sing the Lord's Prayer. And that's the other thing. It's not about what instrument. I started playing the trumpet, but soon thereafter, my desire, and I definitely was determined to live my life in a way to prove those folks who said I had no musical ability way wrong.
Yes.
So all you guys out there who are challenged and have anybody who's saying anything negative to you, please hear me. It's vital that you believe in yourself and you pursue your passion, and that you find your voice. And there's always somebody who's going to really appreciate you sharing that part of you, that special part of you, with them. So please.
I so thank you so much for that final message, especially because I wanted to point out, I'm compelled as an optimist to point out that you are a true optimist, in that you do not let obstacles stand in the way of your success. And this is, since we have a lot of students in the audience, I get an opportunity to speak to a new group of people. So while you optimists have all heard me say this before, this is what optimism truly is. It's not the belief that everything is perfect, but it is the belief that even when in bad situations, we have the power to make them better. Bill was confronted with somebody telling him he had no talent, he could not play in the band, and he and his father, thankfully, did not let that stop them. They went, he had the drive. And, it's like with anything, and I know all of you students have gone through this in your life. I'm sure Bill, as great a musician as he is today, when he picked up that trumpet for the first time, did not play like Louis Armstrong. No. And it took a lot of practice. And so what if he had played that trumpet and said, oh my goodness, they're right, I'm a terrible musician, and he had stopped right there? That would be what the pessimist would do. The optimist knows they can make it happen, and they strive and put the persistence in and the practice and do whatever it takes to, even in confronting obstacles along the way, changing what they do to find success in the end. And so if we can't give you any more advice as young musicians, because you will encounter a lot of no's like Bill did. He described all the successes, but I'm sure there were some no's along the way as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, there were plenty of no's along the way. And let me tell you what my feeling is about no's. Funny that you should ask. Now, somebody saying no to me is like breakfast cereal. Because the idea is that it fuels me. It so fuels me. And I think it's because I was told no at the beginning. So somebody saying no to me just fires me up to work harder and to really step into it and to make it my life goal, to make them, to turn that no into a yes. And the key to that, again, I must say, is it is so vitally important that you believe in yourself. If you know it in your soul, then that is what you're supposed to do. And so please stick to it and be true to yourself. And I think that's certainly, I think, the fundamental of an optimistic view as far as.
Yeah. And so with that, let's go to our second set of clips, and then we will come back with Bill, and we're going to hear a live performance from Bill and his friend, who we will introduce after this next set of musical clips from our students.
Thank you.
I must scream it like I mean it, put a smile on my face. Play my favorite song because today's gonna be a great day. All paper colors, the sky, the sunset, and all paper stars, the cosmos, the Milky Way they'll find. We see the flowers bloom with color and on gray. For spring is here and shoes are green everywhere I move. Take a breath, take it deep. Choosing happiness is a choice inside of me. Teach me some melodious sonnet, sung by flaming tongues above. Praise the mountain, fix upon it. Madre mia, ascolta dolce Maria. Free up, choose happiness. We can't allow negative situations to get the best of us. Free up, choose happiness. We cannot let our circumstances bring out the worst in us. This last year has been so hard, but yet we've made it so far. We'll keep pushing on. We'll keep going on. So be who you are, because nobody can be you. So be yourself, because you are you. So just be who you are. when we fell in love. Oh, I choose happiness. Oh, I choose happiness. Yes, I choose happiness. It's beautiful. The best time is right now because yesterday is gone. You don't know the surprises tomorrow may bring to you. The world can't keep you down. They try to trip you up. Stand your own ground. No one else can control you. Can't clip your wings. It's your persistence that keeps you flying. And I'm here, just me behind my door. It isn't what I have, it's only what I have in store. And then we leave our worries to them and know the happiness buried in every day. We're on a pedestal. When the sky's not quite cloudy and it's not quite sunny too, or even if it's cloudy or even if it's blue, how could I possibly choose to be blue as well? You gave me so much strength as I pushed and pulled through the currents so I could rescue those in the need of help. But now I don't care what you think, won't do what you say. Get out of my way. I'm out of line, I'm out of line. There's a way to make your very biggest trouble small. It's the happy secret of it all. I will be happiness as it is. I've never felt this way for anyone, but I know when I am with you, I am happier. I wanna love somebody else, so if you're leaving, don't leave without me. I wanna start where you start, I wanna start where we left. I hope you'll find a way to look on the bright side each and every day. And soon the world won't always look so dark and gray. But until then, I'm here to stay forevermore.
Wonderful. And so I'm so happy to be able to share all these videos with you. Amy, please put the hashtag in the chat again. You can view all of these videos in their entirety and on YouTube by searching the hashtag that she will put in the chat soon. And we'll go, and there it is, hashtag Optimist Musical Happiness 2021. And just search for that hashtag in YouTube and you will find all of the entries in this contest. And let me go back to Bill. And I want to kind of leave this section open-ended for you, Bill, to say something that you want to bring forward rather than me ask you a question, and then go ahead and play, do a performance for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, kudos to all of the contestants. Wonderful job. And again, as I was saying, how important it is to find your own voice. For all of you parents out there and adults observing this, I hope that you can appreciate the uniqueness of each one of these contestants. And so that is excellent that they're all well on their way to finding their own voice creatively. And so that's really wonderful. I also want to say, as Mark had introduced me, he introduced me as a jazz musician, and I just want to slightly clarify, not because he was wrong, but just to really zero in on the key word there. It's not about the style. It's the fact that I'm a musician. I love all music. Certainly I played my time in little rock bands. I've played in big bands, both playing the string bass. I've played in orchestras classically. I've sung in madrigals, So, I mean, everything you can think of, as long as it's music, that's the thing I'm attracted to. I played the trumpet for 18 years. I had to stop because of a medical issue, but during that time, I wound up learning how to play the French horn, the trombone, the tuba, the baritone, all the brass instruments, and then I moved over and started playing some percussion instruments. But the one instrument I always listened for when I was playing the trumpet was, I need to hear what the bass is doing. I have no idea what that was about. But what it was doing was giving me guidance, because when they said you can't play the trumpet anymore, I said, you know what? I think I know what I'm going to do next, which is pick up that bass. And so I've been a bass player for lots of years, and I've been able to really enjoy playing music, all styles. I mean, I went to college as an opera major, so which feeds into the musical theater background. Like I said, I'm pretty extensive theater and acting background as well, but music was the core in the beginning of all of that, and so it's very important. So I applaud all of you guys and all of these wonderful styles of music, and I think it's important. We all have our favorites, but to open yourselves up and understand that all styles of music are expressions from some individual somewhere. So just as we open ourselves up to meet a stranger or a new person in our lives, I think that sometimes it's good for us to turn the radio station to a station we don't listen to all the time, just to get to know somebody else, because that's the one thing we have in common, and something that's very beautiful. And music makes people happy. And certainly in times like these, not only our isolation, but some of our divisions, socially and so on and so forth, it's really important that we lean in and try to get to know one another and to treat our neighbors as we would treat ourselves. So music is a powerful way to do that. So I just wanted to say that. Now, having said all that, music has introduced me to some really wonderful people over the years. So one of my besties is the gentleman that's sitting right over my shoulder. His name is Roberto Monsalve, and Roberto is from Chile. And so he happened to be in town. We played together for years in different groups. He lived in Indianapolis for about 7 years. But over the years, we've developed a great friendship. And in fact, the last real time that we played together, Roberto, was for a fundraiser for the Bridgetown Optimist Club in Barbados, courtesy of Yvette Reed, by the way. And so I want to give Yvette a wonderful shout out, because that was a wonderful time for us to travel around the world and to unite, because he was back in Chile and I hadn't seen him in a long time. And it was like, hey man, you want to come to Barbados? And it was like, of course I do. So it was a wonderful opportunity for us to engage one another again. And, I want to also say, before we get any further with that, because we got a couple of musical things I want to offer, but I want to speak to the Optimist organization very quickly. I happen to be third generation in the Optimist organization. My grandfather joined the Indianapolis Downtown Optimist Club, which is charter number 1 of the entire organization. And he joined as a member in probably about 1971 or so. And he became the first African-American president in the Downtown Optimist Club in the mid-90s. And flash forward, 10 years later, and then my dad became the second African-American president of the Indianapolis Downtown Optimist Club. Now we flash forward another 5 or 10 years, and I became the third president of the Indianapolis Downtown Optimist Club. And I believe that was somewhat historic in the international organization, as far as 3 generations serving as president of a club. So aside from the African-American aspect, just proud members of the Indianapolis Downtown Optimist Club. So that is my previous history. So my knowledge and participation over the years with the Optimist Club and Optimist International is almost as long as my music career and experience. So that is something. And so I applaud the Optimists again and Optimist International for the wonderful work they do and the opportunities that they open up. And so I just wanted to be clear about that. The oratorical competition and, you know, the golf competition and all the various programs that they're doing. And I'm certainly hoping that this music program has legs, meaning we do this again, because anything I can do to support this, I'm absolutely in. Count me in. I am currently a member of the Internationals or the Centennial Optimist Club, which is an online club. And what I love about that is that our members are not in a geographic setting or a city. They're from all over the place. So I actually get to be a club member with Yvette in Barbados. I mean, we get to be in the same club. And so that's really, really wonderful. And some of our friends in Canada and Michael Listenberg and just really some really wonderful folks there. So I say that proudly. So that's my plug for the day on the Optimists. And so again, I want to encourage all of you guys, all you young musicians and aspiring artists, to just continue to seek out and explore your musical talents because you have some wonderful gifts. And if those clips are any indication of where you're headed in a very good place. So at this point, I would like to do a little music with my friend Roberto, because again, it's very interesting. He's in town, and I didn't know the nature that he was in town because we're all in COVID. So nobody's really traveling and all that. And so he reached out to me maybe the day before our interview, Mark, when you were on my podcast, which was yesterday. But Roberto had told me that he was in town. And so I reached out to him, and what I discovered was he was in town not for a visit per se, but he was actually in town because his sister lives here in the state of Indiana, and she is critically ill. And so he was actually in town to be a blood marrow donor for his sister. And so I don't mean to throw a cloud on this, but the interesting thing here is that when I reached out to Roberto, because none of us have really been playing nearly as much as we normally do because of COVID and the social distancing and the inability for groups to really gather as far as audiences and the venues being closed. But when I reached out to Roberto and I said, hey, man, instead of him being so concerned about his sister, it's like, hey, you want to come and make some music with me and join me in this program? And he said, yes, Bilito. So, and so for that, thank you, Roberto. You're welcome. Yeah, so we're going to make some music now, but this is Roberto Monsalvi. He's wonderful.
that is so beautiful. I can't thank you enough, Bill, for sharing your story, and Roberta and you for sharing your happiness through music with us today. This has really just been wonderful. And I'd love to keep going along this vein, but I know there's a lot of people interested in the next portion of our program, so I'm going to move forward to that. Yes, Bill.
Yeah, and thank you, Mark. And so on that note, I have one last thing, if you don't mind. And so it's very important, because as much as I am encouraging you to continue to reach out and find your voice, I have this last little clip, and then I'm out of here. And so this last little clip is my message to you and the importance of this particular moment.
Thank you. Go ahead and play that clip. I forgot about that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
This is the moment. This is the day. This is the moment when I know I'm on my way. Every endeavor I have made ever is coming into play, is here and now, today. This is the moment, this is the time, when the momentum and the moment are in rhyme. Give me this momentous moment. I'll gather up my past and make some sense at last. This is the moment when all I've done, all of the dreaming, scheming, and screaming becomes one. This is the day. Just see it shine when all I've lived for becomes mine. This is the moment. This is the hour when I can open up tomorrow like a flower and put my hand to everything I plan to fulfill my grand design, see all my stars align. This is the moment, my final test. Destiny beckoned, I never reckoned second best. I won't look down, I must not fall. This is the moment, the sweetest moment of them all. This is the moment, damn all the odds. This day or never, I'll sit forever with the gods. When I look back, I will recall, moment for moment, this was the moment, the greatest moment of them
Amazing. If we were not on Zoom, we'd be all jumping out of our chairs cheering. I wish I could, but I have to stay on camera here. Bill, that was fantastic. And I don't know who told you you didn't have any talent, but you sure overcame that obstacle.
Man, I'm still working on it. I'm still working on it. Just practice.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your participation. Did you want to say? We have to get moving on if you want to say something quick.
No, that is it. It is an honor to be here, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you. And now we're going to move on to our next part. And I think Bill would probably agree with me when I say music should never be a competition. Every performance we saw was fantastic. And I certainly, the first thing I said when I saw all the clips you're about to hear about was that I'm certainly glad I was not a judge in this competition. But we did provide some financial incentives. And so we're going to get to that portion of our program. And, you know, Optimist International, for those of you who are not aware, we have committees that put together the programs and the different things that we do. And so I tasked our International Programs Committee with the task of coming up with something for the International Day of Happiness that could be worldwide participation. And they met that goal to the best level we could have, in my opinion. This musical program is just fantastic. And so I'm about to introduce our programs committee chair to introduce her committee and the winning videos. But I want to say one more thing, because there are about 60 or more people who will not win a scholarship who submitted things. And if Bill's story tells us nothing else, it tells us that is not a final answer. Your talents are superb, and you should keep going forward. And in the next time you're performing, I'm sure you'll do even better. So with that, I'd like to introduce our programs committee chair, Jerry Barnett. Oh, and I'm sorry, Jerry, before I do that, I really have to give thanks to our Optimist International staff who put those clips together and put this OptiForum together for us today. So I want to especially thank Josh Castleberry, Jason Cook, Amy Keller, Rhonda Vaughn, and Jennifer Bagwell, and anybody else I left out. But you are all fantastic, and I can't express my enough gratitude for the work you've done. Hours and hours of work went into the preparation of today's event and the judging that you're going to hear about next. So I will now turn it back over to our programs chair, Jerry Barnett.
Thank you, President Mark. And thank you, Bill, for that inspirational message and performance. I think that just touched everyone to the bottom of my heart. I can say that. Our programs team is very happy for this opportunity to provide youth with the outlet to showcase their creativity and build their confidence in the performing arts. And this was definitely a team effort, as President Mark has said. So I'd like to do a little recognition for you yourself, President Mark, the staff of Optimist International for supporting our team in this endeavor, the Communications, Marketing, and Technology Committee for their event promotion. Huge appreciation to our committee members of the 2021 programs team. They all played a part in our journey to this day. But I have asked some of our core volunteers of this project to make the announcements. So I'd like to begin with Optimist Sandy Doyle from Indiana North District, who will lead us off with the musical category. Sandy?
Thank you, Jerry. I want to thank you, kids, for making this musical competition a success for Optimist International. You are amazing, and don't let anybody ever tell you otherwise. And I hope every one of you keeps music going. Keep it in your heart, keep it going for others to hear. Because music inspires people, especially if the music is happy, if the music is upbeat and joyful and loving. It brings joy to people. You all have been given a gift to accomplish this talent, and always be positive, always be grateful for who you are and what you do. These will become joyful and more positive. People will be grateful hearing your music. So always basically be true to yourself and enjoy what you are creating and what you are accomplishing, because we love it. We love it. And that's what makes us happy. And that's what will make you happy. So our third place winner, I believe, is Jonah Castle, Kassel.
Hi, my name is Jonah Castle, and I'm going to be playing Dabina by Franz Schubert.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, Jonah. That was absolutely awesome. Good morning and good afternoon, everyone. I am Frank Henderson Jr. from the Kansas Optimist District, and it's indeed my pleasure to participate in the Optimist International Day of Happiness. It's my honor now to present our second place winner in the musical contest. This selection brings out the best in happiness and will cheer every heart any day of the week. You will be stirred deep within, so please enjoy this second place selection. And ladies and gentlemen, I now present to you Miss Anna Nikolova. Congratulations, Anna. Please welcome Anna.
Mark.
Yeah. Yes. Hi, everybody. This is Mark Harris from the Maryland South Delaware District. And again, I want to congratulate all the contestants that submitted their videos. I was just amazed at the talent, both vocally and musically, the different instruments they were playing, some of the classical pieces that they played. I heard Ode to Joy, I heard music from India, I heard music from Japan, other classical tunes, and then there were original pieces that some of these contestants put together. And I think at this point, I'd just like to move on and announce our first place winner for the musical category is a duet, Alex Mona and Mio Legaspi. Thank you. And congratulations to Mio and Alex.
Cloudy days I've got with you, running with nowhere to go. I could give into the clouds, have a gloomy point of view. I could give it all to you, 'cause if the rain never fell, there'd be no roses to smell. So even when the sky is gray, I will lift my eyes and say, let the rain fall, let it fall on me, let the rain fall, let it fall on me. When it's difficult you try, but you can't stop the stormy skies. Lift your face up heavenward, and through all your tears and pain, we can dance out in the rain. 'Cause if the rain never fell, there'd be no roses to smell. So even when the sky is gray, you can lift your eyes and say, let the rain fall, let it fall on me, let the rain fall, let it fall on me. Let the rain fall, let it fall on me, let the rain fall, let it fall on me. Ba 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 da, ba 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 da, ba 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 da.
Wow. That's about all I can say. Thank you, Mark. It's such wonderful performances, and there are just so many, a few more to come. I'd like to congratulate you, all of you, the winners again. You are amazing. You are awesome. And we are proud of all our contestants because they came and they shared their creativity. They took that extra step and we gave the opportunity to you, and we thank you for taking it. Now, if Calvin Hunter from our Caribbean district will begin with the announcements for the vocal category.
Thank you, Jerry. It is indeed a happy International Day of Happiness, fellow optimists. What an amazing display of talent we have today from our children from all around the world. Wow. Hearty congratulations to all our contestants. Please share these videos with your clubs and with the children you serve to empower them and to make them happy as well. You know, music is an uncanny source of spiritual energy. Both mind and body interact with music, but its source and effect are spiritual. The sound of the guitar string or the piano key or the vocal cord, those can be magical. No one can completely explain the effect of music on the human heart. It can make crying babies quiet, angry adults smile, and a passerby stop and tap their feet. As Bill Myers said earlier, there's music for every emotion and for every occasion. I encourage you all today to prepare your copies of recordings and selections of your favorite music and keep them handy. When you face distractions, disappointments, hardships, and life's other obstacles, play this music to soothe and comfort yourself, or to excite you and unleash your creativity. And now, the third place winner of the vocal contest of the 2021 Optimist Music Happiness Competition is Emma Petborg.
Please don't be offended if I preach to you a word. Tears are out of place in eyes that were meant to smile. There is a way to make your very biggest trouble smile. It's the happy secret of it all. Look for the silver lining whenever a cloud appears in the blue. Remember, somewhere the sun is shining, and so the right thing to do is make it shine for you. A heart full of joy and gladness will always banish sadness and strife. So always look for the silver lining and try to find the sunny side of life.
Hello, Optimistic. This is Mark Harris again. Getting ready to announce the second place winner in the vocal category. And again, I want to shout out again, congrats to all the youth that submitted entries. They're all wonderful. And also a shout out to my Optimist friends. I'm happy to see 161 Optimists on this call. I consider you all my Optimist friends, maybe just some that I haven't met yet, but there's a lot that I have met. So without further ado, let's move on. The second place winner in the vocal category is Samantha Caton.
Hi, my name is Samantha Caton, and this is a song that I wrote for the Optimist Music Competition. Hope you like it. The lyrics are in the description if you need them. I know life seems it's got you tied to a string, feeling as though struggle is out of your control. But I hope you find the power hidden in your name. You're not left to sit and accept the pain. It's hard to see through the dead of night when you're only looking through the tunnel of your eyes. But lights in the city high above, only if you choose to look up. It's only you who can speak with your voice. Even you too can heal if you make the choice. The world can't keep you down. They try to trip you up, stand your own ground. No one else can control you, can clip your wings. It's your resistance that keeps you flying against the currents of the wind to where you see a whole new world begin. On the horizon, they say the grass is greener than before, where the clouds are finally free of rain. A whole new life calling my name, saying you just gotta fly. I can't choose to fly, I can't choose. Watch me as I fly. It's only you who can make the first step. I promise you too can smile once again. The world can't keep you down. They try to trip you up, stand your own ground. You go soaring with your own wings. It's your persistence that keeps you flying against the currents of the wind to where you see a whole new world begin.
Wow, Frank Henderson here again. Samantha, congratulations and absolutely thank you, thank you, thank you. I absolutely love that selection. It's so inspirational and reminds us that we have that power to choose. And I think each and every one of us should listen to that song every morning when we wake up. And that is actually going to make our day. Samantha, thank you so much for sharing your talent and your heart with us. That is truly warming. So before we announce the final scholarship recipient, the first place winner of the vocal contest, I just want to say a big thank you to all of our student musicians today. You have truly made our day of happiness. So please continue to share your talent and share your spirit within your community and every opportunity that you may have with everyone you encounter, because you truly bring hope and cheer and true happiness to this world. So congratulations on your submission, and thank you, thank you, thank you for considering the Optimist International Day of Happiness. So now it's my honor to present the first place winner of the 2021 Optimist International Day of Musical Happiness. And ladies and gentlemen, allow me to present to you Isabel Nash.
Hi, my name is Isabel Nash. I'm a grade 10 student at Catholic Central High School, and this is my submission for the 2021 Optimist Musical Happiness Contest. This song is called Here to Stay. So many days have come and gone. You say that it's not getting easier, but I can see deep down in your heart you realize that maybe not everything is what it seems. If you can find a way to ignore all the hurtful things they say, I know it will get better each and every day. Promise I'm here to stay. It's like they don't even try. The way you keep your troubles locked up inside you, I can see them piled a mile high. You seem so far away. The words you say to me are on replay. Can't seem to find a way to properly convey. I'm always here to stay. Your hours start blurring, and it's so hard to realize all the wonders in the world. I'm here to help you see all of the good things till you don't need me anymore. I hope you'll find a way to look on the bright side each and every day. And soon the world won't always look so dark and gray. But until then, I'm here to stay forevermore.
I'll say that I'm standing and I'm applauding every one of you. And I thank you, Isabel, and I congratulate you and all the contest winners for all of your performances. There was so much talent and passion that created happiness for us and have come together in these performances. I know many of these were original, and it's so wonderful to know that happiness and optimism can be shared together. We all benefited from the sharing through the international platforms, and we do thank our judges sincerely for their difficult job in determining who the winners were today, although I feel that every one of you, again, is a winner. And we are very glad that all of you are here for our Optimist celebration of the International Day of Happiness. I hope that you will look forward to other opportunities for our youth, like our World Oratorical Contest and the Visual Arts Contest that is coming up. And now, President Mark, I'd like to have you provide our final remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, and to your committee, a wonderful job with this work, and just one additional opportunity for youth to make positive choices in their lives. I want to give Bill, our special guest, Bill Myers, just one last opportunity to make a short statement, and then we'll conclude.
Yes, it is short. That's all it needs to be. Is you guys are amazing. You are amazing, and when I see your performances, I become inspired as well. That's oddly enough, that's sort of my mantra. It's the name of my podcast. It's called Bill Myers Inspires. I didn't mean to plug that, but I wanted to explain that. It's not so much, and it never was my intention that I be so inspirational to someone else, but the purpose of the show was for me to identify individuals that inspire me. And hopefully by engaging them, such as Mark was my guest on my show just this last Friday, but whenever I engage them and I share them with the rest of the world, my hope is that they will be as inspired as I am. Just like Louis Armstrong inspired me. When I play music, my intention is to make other people feel the way that Louis Armstrong made me feel. So when I say that you guys are an inspiration, you give me hope for the future. You are the youngsters, but you are the leaders of tomorrow. And I feel like we're in great hands. What do you think, Mark?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is really what Optimist International is all about. I hope that those in the audience who are not members of our organization, probably parents of the students who have contributed, and to your students, I hope you will look into our Junior Optimist International organization. I know our Junior Optimist International president is online today, you can find out information about both organizations at www.optimist.org, and we would look forward to all of your participation in helping us bring hope and positive vision to youth, our communities, and ourselves. And with that, I will just make one last congratulations to all of the participants today, especially the participants, because it's an act of courage to put that out there like that, and we appreciate it. And it was so inspiring, as everyone has noted, and everyone in this OptiForum has expressed how their happiness has been increased by the musical program we had today. So thank you to the participants. Thank you to Bill Myers and Roberto for your performance and your words of wisdom. And thank you to the staff of Optimist International who did the work to put this together, and the committee, the Optimist International Programs Committee and Marketing Committee, who really made this all happen. So with that, please go out for the rest of the day and share your happiness. Now we're all happy and ready to share that with other people. So please go forth and share happiness around the world.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yes.
I say me hot. Ignite, ignite, ignite. I have got this feeling, a very irie feeling. And when I get this feeling, optimism is in the air. Spread optimism everywhere. No bother with the nurse, no bother with the dark optimism. Each epidemic proportion. We don't need no nurse, we don't need no dark. Optimism I go cause a commotion. Celebrate the youth, teach the youth the truth. In your community, optimism for you and me, it will make you. It will make you. Optimism will make you. It will make you high. Everybody sing it. Choose optimism. All youths in the join it. Build your community. Ignite, ignite, ignite. Choose optimism. Ignite, 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 ignite. Right throughout the Caribbean, Optimist team is moving on.